guys, how are you? Mike here from The Wellness Bucket. Thank you so much for being here and joining me for another episode of Mondays with Mike. Big time excited you guys are here. So let's go ahead and dive into this week's message. And this week we're talking about two things. And it is the difference between having the resources that we need to do whatever we're out to do, whether it's lose weight, run a marathon, whatever it may be, really. Resources versus being resourceful, or the ability to be, the idea of resourcefulness. Taking the resources you do have and working with those versus, thinking that we have little to no resources to work with and then feeling stuck like we can't do anything. So that's what we're talking about here today, guys, is the difference between resources and then being resourceful, resourcefulness. So what's that all about? So recently I just had a conversation with one of my clients who's been traveling a ton, and we're out of an element, right? We're out of an element. We don't have the resources we used to having. So that doesn't mean we can't get the work done that still needs to get done. Granted, the resources that are typically available to them are not there during this travel stint of 10 days, but there are still resources. So it's not a matter of the lack of resources, but more so being resourceful. And that we can apply this to anything we're out to do. I know myself, for example, anytime I'm thinking of different things and ideas for the Wellness Bucket, I always think of, oh man, well I don't have that. Well man, I'm lacking that. And we're quick to think about the things that we don't have, but there are the resources that we do have. And it's a matter of tapping into the resources we do have to making it happen with that. I remember when I was on a cruise about, a couple of months ago, and I didn't have access to an outdoor track because I had to go train and do like 10 to 12 miles for my marathon training. But you know what? The ship did have a gym. They did have a treadmill. Yes, it wasn't ideal, but it's what they had, and I did my 10 miles on a treadmill. So I used the resources I had available to me, so I was resourceful as far as what did I need to do, what did I have available to me, and what could I do. So that's a matter of resourcefulness, guys. So that's what I want to talk about here today, and it's like, hey, 3 ways of being more resourceful. So we're not quick to focus on the things we don't have. Instead, we take what do I have and make it work still, regardless of what you're out to do and create. Run a marathon, lose weight, tone up, 6-pack, business, relationship, I don't care what it is. What do we have to work with? Let's work with that. Let's be resourceful. Number one way to do that, stop being resourceful, is see things as they are, but not any worse than what they are. And what I mean by that is I know I'm notorious for doing this. We're quick to point out, oh my goodness, I can't do that. I don't have this. I need this. And oh man, now I'm going to be away from home, so I don't have my usual electronics that I need to create my videos. Quick to think about it in a way that's like worse than what it is. Let's just see it for what it is. For myself, for example, hey, okay, you don't have what you normally use. Okay, that's all it is. You don't have what you normally have, but what do you have? What do you have? So see it as it is, but no worse than what it is. I know that we tend to make up stories. I know I do, like, oh my God, this is so bad, and how am I going to get through this? It's 10 days of traveling. How can I work out? I don't have what I need. It's not that bad. See it for what it is, no worse than what it is. That's the quickest way, number one, to even give yourself a chance to tap into being more resourceful. So that's number one, see it as it is, no worse than what it is. Number two, this is a big one. Ask the right questions of yourself. Ask the right questions. Meaning, if the question is, why does this always happen to me? Why is this always my luck that the hotel I'm staying at doesn't have a gym? Well, if those are the questions we're asking, the answers are not going to be, lousy questions lead to lousy answers. And we're not really going to get the ability to, ask a question and give us answers to use for what we need to be resourceful. So instead of asking, oh man, why does the places I stay at never have a, good gym for me to work out? Ask, what do they have? What resources does the hotel have? What are the resources around the hotel? What can I do based on what I have to still get my workout in? So questions are everything. And another way to look at it is also saying, there's nothing I can do. And whenever we make that bold statement, well, then our mind just shuts off and then we stop thinking, right? I know I do that sometimes. It's like, hey, I need to get this done for whatever course or a camp I'm putting together, and I realize I don't have this particular thing I would love to have, but I don't have it. And if I'm like, I can't do it then. I just can't do it. And then I have to stop myself and say, no, it's not you can't do it. You don't have that particular resource. But which ones do you have available to you that could perhaps lend themselves to actually making it happen? Yeah, maybe it's not as simple from A to B, but maybe I got to use resource A, B, and C to get there. But again, look at the resources you do have to work with and work with those. And again, number 2, ask the right questions. What do I have to work with? What can I do? So let's ask the right questions. We'll get the right answers to do the things we want to get done, to get the things we want to get done. And then lastly, it's a statement, right? And it's one I love and I live by. It's, do what you can where you are with what you have. Conditions are not always going to be perfect. Resources won't always be readily accessible. And that's okay, guys. I say let's always do what we can where we are with what we have. And granted, if we're traveling, maybe you don't have access to that gym you're so used to. Maybe you don't have access to that Pilates class you love so much. Maybe you don't have access to all the food you normally eat because, you're on your weight loss plan. You know what? It is what it is. Let's not make it worse than what it is. Number 1, right? See it as it is, no worse. Let's just do what we can where we are with what we have at all times. So that's the quickest ways, guys. 3 ways to start being more resourceful. And again, I'm still learning this as I go as well. But number 1 is see it as it is, no worse than what it is. Let's not make it over dramatic and make it more than what it is. Number 2 is ask the right questions. Let's not ask, why does this happen to me? Lousy question. Let's ask, what can I do? What resources do I have to get this done, to get what I need to get done? Number 2, ask the right question. And number 3, do what you can where you are with what you have at all times, guys. That's this week's message. I hope it helps. The big difference between resources and being resourceful. All right, resourcefulness. That is huge. Regardless of what you're out to do, regardless of what your goals are, if I can help you in any way be more resourceful, come up with ways of being more resourceful, let me know. Reach out to me anytime. It's mike@thewellnessbucket.com. You're awesome. Have a phenomenal week ahead, and until next Monday. Cheers.